about to go down.
Burning your ears with another all-killer and no-filler episode of the best motorsports radio on the planet. It's the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. With your host, Jim Beaver.
Sliding trophy trucks, jumping razors, and dropping the mic at events across the country.
Amy Hood.
What's up, guys? I'm a professional fun haver, dirt bike rider, and monster truck driver.
With support from Polaris Razor, General Tire, Subaru, and Dirtfish. Hang on tight, strap in, and get ready to smoke some tires and lay some roost. Here's the man who carries a steering wheel in one hand and a mic in the other. Jim Beaver.
What is happening? Another morning here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, joined by Amy Hood, who has gone from Parker to Washington, D.C. to Winnipeg. I wish I had your freaking flyer miles, man. You are all over the grid, Hood.
Yes, and I'm staring out the window to a beautiful, snowy, cold, blowing winter pig. It's horrible. I miss Parker already.
It's 81 degrees here today. 81 Fahrenheit. I don't know what the hell that is in Celsius world up there, but yeah, 81 degrees. I'm in shorts, a shirt, looking out the window. It's sunshine and no wind and beautiful, like, let's go jump in the river weather. So just saying.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. It's 11 degrees here Fahrenheit, so yeah.
Oh, man, we got a fun show, though, today. Amy and I, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we had the big one, X Games, over the weekend. It's definitely some highs and some lows at X Games. We'll definitely dive into that, though. Some more Supercross shenanigans. We've got Parker 425 coming up this weekend here in Parker. Guest today, Brett Turcotte. He took 2 X Games gold. He was in 4 events, took 2 X Games gold medals, and he never had an X Games gold before this weekend. So now he's got 2 of them. Brett's calling in. We're going to talk all kinds of X Games with Brett. Amy actually drove his Razor at Terracross in Elk River for him. So I don't know. We got tie-ins all over the board with Turcotte. Then we've got a guy, he's a good friend of mine, somebody who's never been on the show before. He used to race Indy cars. He made the transition to off-road, the weird transition to off-road. Now he's racing for our boys at Camberg, and Alex Figge's going to be on the line. So a couple of great guests, lots of stuff to talk about. As always, if you got questions, at JimBeaver15, at AmyHood71, we'll get them cycled into the show, and we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZ, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
And we're back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Man, I'm drawing blanks here. What do we have to talk about? We got a lot to talk about, Amy Hood, that's for sure. But, oh, yeah, we got some big news coming out of our friends at Polaris, right? You know, the guys we talk about all show long, every day. You follow me on social media. It's all about the Razor life, right? Well, February 1st, which is, I think, depending on when you're tuning into the show, whether it be Tuesday or Wednesday in national syndication. It's 2 days from now. It's tomorrow if you tune on iTunes. Maybe it's past. But February 1st, Polaris is doubling down. They are announcing an all-new Razor. We have no idea what's coming. I actually do, but I can't talk about it. But that happens February 1st. And then not only that, this is something Amy can appreciate because she's kind of partial to these things, but they're announcing a limited edition slingshot on February 1st as well. So, like, February 1st is, like, officially Razor Day or Polaris Day, I guess. So, just throwing that out there, man. I'm kind of excited. I know kind of what's coming on the Razor side. No idea what the slingshot's going to look like. So, yeah, it's February 1st. If you're a Polaris fan, it's going to be a big day for you.
That's awesome. I love how they always keep everything, under wraps and, disclosed, and then boom, they just lay it on you. It's pretty sweet.
So, yeah, definitely check your social media feeds February 1st. Polaris, they've got a bunch of stuff to drop on you for sure. Also, some big news, man. I got all kinds of news we're cranking out in this first segment. My Project Unicorn build that Amy kind of helped me unveil. We went out and we shot some video. I don't know where that video's at. All the pictures in the photo gallery's up at downanddirtyshow.com. I know Amy's working on like an edit or something, but we kind of shredded Project Unicorn. This is a build I've been working on for quite a while. Finally got it done. We've got a little bit of suspension tuning to do and some odds and ends, but it's pretty much wrapped up. But the pictures are out there. It was a ton of fun, so definitely go and check out that gallery. I'm sure, I don't know, Amy, you were all smiles driving that thing. Like, how was it your first time out in the desert in a Razor? Because I know you've raced them in arena and short course.
Wild. Yeah, it's so different out in a desert. Like, I had no idea those things could actually handle the way they did. We're coming at these wide open whoop sections, for like up as far as the eye can see miles. And here I am, like, we're coming in it pretty hot. Like, we're going at least 100 miles an hour. Maybe I'm exaggerating. But, I mean, those things are cruising on the top of all the bumps in the terrain. Like, I did not know that it was going to be as smooth of handling as it was. I mean, the ones that I ride in Monster Jam, those speedsters, not quite the same suspension setup as your Project Unicorn, I will tell you that. But, it was pretty interesting. And
you got
my first time out in the desert.
First time in the sand, too, at the dunes, right? I mean, it wasn't really dunes. It was a little bit, but it was the first time you were ever actually in the sand, right?
I mean, for me, I felt like I was in the Mojave Desert. Like, I've never experienced anything like that before.
Nice. Yeah, we had a ton of fun. So I know Amy's going to cycle in that video at some point onto her YouTube channel. So definitely be looking out for that. And then in addition to that, I made the big announcement, and Amy and I are both stoked on that because we both have some wheels coming for our new rides. But Vision Wheel, welcome to the family, my friends at Vision Wheel. They're a sponsor of the Down and Dirty Radio Show. They are a sponsor of myself, my trophy truck, my Razors, Project Unicorn, Star Car, pretty much everything Vision's going to have me outfitted. So you guys, we're working on a lot of projects with them. I know Amy's already been on their website, like checking out wheels, and you've got like the ones you want picked out. And, it's going to be a ton of fun. Looking forward to that. So thanks to Vision Wheel. Just have to give a shout out to those guys. If you're not following them on social media, you should be, because they've got some, I don't know, I guess I joined like Rob McCachran and Keegan Kincaid as, some of their athletes on the roster. And I'm like, man, you got a Hall of Famer there. You got a world champion there. It's like, man, it's kind of good company to be in. So really excited about 2018.
And they just gave me, they reposted me on their social media already, sitting on your beautiful Razor. So I already like them.
Right. Oh man. So yeah, we got all this stuff out of the way. Like, it was big news. I had to finally talk about that stuff. But I know we got a lot. You in the next segment. I mean, after you left Parker, you had one hell of a week. Like, you were in Parker. It wasn't like we sat on our hands all 2 days you were here. Like, we were out doing stuff, and then turn around, you go to Pastrana Lands for a day. You're in D.C. I know you got some exciting stuff that happened there with I guess the first daughter. I mean, like, you had, like, if you can pack 1 week and just completely fill it with radness, I think that was Amy Hood last week.
Honestly, it's been the month of January. Monster Jam's a whirlwind, and it's, we're go, a million miles an hour, and come to Parker for, 2.5 days, and we're go, a million miles an hour. It's nice to have some downtime when I come back to Winnipeg, but there's no downtime. I'm home for 2.5 days, so, I try to jam-pack everything in, all week and all weekend. So it's a wild ride. I'd sleep when I'm dead, Jim. Sleep when I'm dead.
So I got to ask, I know you went to Pastrana's for a day. You flipped into the foam pit before. What came out of this Pastrana trip? More flipping? I mean, what happened? I mean, what happened at Pastrana? What did you push yourself? Like, where are we at here?
Food happened. I didn't even go and look at the foam pit. We went, we checked out downtown Annapolis. I did a little bit of tourist sites with Street Bike Tommy, and we went and had some good barbecue food. We relaxed, checked out the sites, and honestly, it was just a nice, I've done my Pastrana thing. Like, you need a whole, like, weekend dedicated to that, and I don't want to ever push the limits where I'm, unable to perform on the weekend for Monster Jam. That's my main commitment. That's why I was in Washington. So it was nice to take a step back and do something different and really, enjoy the city and enjoy time with my friends. And it was really good. It was well needed. That's
rad. That's you definitely needed it after last week. I know you're recovering today. And so tell me about the Monster Jam show, though. I know we get all kinds of celebrities go to Monster Jam. I know you'd met the Trumps once before. Now, like, all of a sudden, you and, like, Ivanka are, like, first name basis. I feel like you like spent 2 times now with the Trumps.
I know, and you know what? It was I was having a rough weekend, Jim. You come off a great weekend and come off a win, and everyone steps up their game every single weekend, and so it's kind of a luck of the draw sometimes. And I draw the shortest end of the straw this weekend. So a little bit of rough go, and it all was worth it. It doesn't necessarily matter what place you finish, how many points you score. It's the impact that you leave on your fans, and that's where I draw my, when I'm having a bad day, like, I'll just go and do extra zombie arms. I'll wave those zombie arms extra hard just because, that's where I can cover my ground and really make up for some of the bad luck that might happen in a show. And, we don't get told anything. So we had no idea. I just knew that we had a special guest, coming to check out the trucks at the end of the show. And actually it was supposed to be Wonder Woman truck. Last minute, boom, they wanted the zombie truck underneath the tunnel. And then we saw coming down the corridor, Ivanka and her daughter. And I remember her daughter from last year because, I left an impression on her daughter. They came to Monster Jam for her son. and the daughter ended up leaving, in love and in home. Yeah, and so this year they brought all their cousins and all these little girls, and it was just really cool to see, how like that transition from being a little, intimidated by the trucks and maybe by that particular sport to bringing all our cousins and all of her little friends, and it was just really cool to see her love for Monster Jam after last year, and apparently they didn't stop talking about it, and it just, that's when you know that you're doing your job right, and that's why I love my job, is because of the impression that I leave on everybody around me and people who come to the show. And it makes, like I said, having a bad show all worthwhile when Ivanka Trump's daughter wants to see the zombie truck,
Yeah, well, and I think that's what's so rad about Monster Jam is like you said, like they went for the son last time, and now all of a sudden it was like now the daughter's so into it, they're going for her. I don't know, I just think it's so rad that monster trucks can do that to kids. Like, what kid doesn't like a monster truck? Like, seriously, show me the kid that hates a monster truck.
And the fact that they're coming back, right? Yeah. Like they checked it out last year and they loved it so much that they made it a priority on their to-do list to come back. And that's where, I see this interaction with all these fans. Like, I see fans, who come to like multiple shows. I saw them last week. They come to the autograph line this week. It's so cool to see a sport that leaves such an impression that makes people, spend their hard-earned money coming every single weekend to watch these shows. So it's just, it's so humbling and really makes me take a step back and appreciate what I do and kind of lose the competitiveness and realize that I'm here to entertain and I'm here to, whether I have a bad show or not, like, it doesn't matter. Like, go smile, do some zombie arms. They love that stuff. Like, my job is for everybody else. And that was really different with motocross. It's, I was there to win. Here, I am here to make people love a monster truck, a 12,000-pound, monster. It's quite exhilarating. I don't know, man. It gives me like shivers just thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, we got to take a break. We'll talk more about that after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Are you looking for a place to push yourself behind the wheel and see how your driving skills stack up? Dirtfish Rally School is that place. Located on 315 acres of pristine automotive playground at the foot of the Cascade Mountains in Snoqualmie, Washington, right outside of Seattle, Dirtfish Rally School is a one-of-a-kind place where everyone from first-time drivers to seasoned professionals like Bucky Lassick and Antoine Lestage can push themselves to their limit. Whether driving the high-performance, rally-prepped all-wheel drive Subaru Impreza STI is what you're looking for, or you'd rather hang it all out in the rear-wheel drive Subaru BRZs, Dirtfish Rally School has something for everyone. Classes are available from 2 hours to 3 full days and feature instructors with over 150 years of combined racing experience. Whether you're looking to become the best and get an edge on the competition, or just looking to freshen your skills behind the wheel, Dirtfish Rally School is the place to go. For more information on registering for classes, visit Dirtfish on the web at dirtfish.com, or to check out the latest happenings from Dirtfish, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dirtfish Rally. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
And round number 2 here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor with Jim Beaver and Amy Hood. And, we've been talking some Monster Jam, talking about the weekends. Man, we got X Games to talk about, Supercross. We got a lot of stuff. Before we get to that, I know Best in the Desert Parker 425 coming up this weekend. And I got to give a big shout-out to our friends. We're syndicated on networks all over the country and internationally on the American Forces Network. But my local station, KLPZ 1380 in Parker, picked us up for 2018. Yeah. And Amy and I were actually in the studio last Thursday or last Wednesday for a chat with my buddy John Wright. But they are actually airing a live broadcast the whole afternoon for the 425 on Saturday, and they actually air this show on Saturday. So if you're listening to this on KLPZ, stay on the line, or stay on I guess tuned in, because as soon as this show goes off air, they're cutting to live coverage of the Parker 425 on the station. But if you're at home and you want to listen, you don't have to be at 1380 AM, in where you have to listen on your AM radio. Go to Parker Live Online, and you can listen online all day long. So there you go.
Awesome. Yeah, he was really cool, dude. We had a lot of fun in there. He had microphones all over. We talked a little bit of everything, and he was a cool guy.
Yeah, and that's archived. You can go back on my Facebook and or go to Parker Live Online on Facebook. But, yeah, if you want to catch that interview, if you missed it, I got a ton of feedback from that. There was a ton of people tuned in. But, yeah, it's you and I were kind of out. I guess it was funny us getting interviewed for once. But, it's up at Parker Live Online or my Facebook, and I think Amy shared it as well if you guys missed it. So definitely check it out. It was a good time for sure. But we're going to talk some X Games and some Supercross here. I know Amy was flying around in D.C., so I think she just caught bits and pieces. Obviously, we got double gold medalist Brett Turcotte. He's calling in after this next break, probably about 10 minutes from now. But X Games, Amy.
Did you see who's our current point leader right now for the 450 Supercross?
Oh, we want to talk Supercross first. I'm good with that. Jason Anderson, El Hombre.
Yes, I love it. And I love it because it's, the locomotive. Yeah. He is the guy who is always there. He might not be winning every single round and being on top of the box, but he's always right there. And, we talk about how long the 450 class, how grueling of a season it is. And, it just goes to show that consistency is key.
Yeah, he's always there in the top 5. And I got to say, El Hombre, if you remember back to 2017, El Hombre's finish in the points wasn't exactly where he should have been. And the reason why, do you remember, Amy, there was the one time he got banned for one race because going into the tunnel, I can't remember who it was, but he shoved somebody. And it wasn't even like a punch. He literally just kind of pushed him. And they kicked him out of the race and said, no, you got to go home. And so he basically forfeited one entire event. And, if he would have had those points back, he would have been even better in the standings. So I don't know. It was, and I think you and I are both saying, hey, man, if you're going to, I guess, kind of shove somebody, it was like a light shove. It wasn't even I'm like, man, you might as well just haul off and knock their teeth out, right? If you're going to get banned for a race, make it worth it.
Well, exactly. Or do it behind closed doors where nobody can, with an FS1 camera, can get it captured live on, on the air.
Yeah,
so if you're gonna do it, just do it behind the scenes, man. Do it behind the motorhome.
Yeah. So I don't know, Anderson. And Barsha, you got to give Barsha credit. He's riding so good. We haven't seen this Barsha in a long time. Tomac, he's going to have a tough road ahead of him just because of missing that event earlier in the year. But I don't know, Anderson. He's tough, right?
I mean, it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be one coming down like it was last year, where we're pointing out in Vegas. It all comes down to Vegas because no one right now is running away with it at all, and it's really up to. It's going to be a heated battle between Marvin, Tomac, and Barsha and Anderson. Like then you put Sealy in the mix as well, and Ken Roxon. Like you got 5 or 6 dudes who are constantly there every single weekend. Like there's no one is running away at all. Nobody. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Barsha. He's a fill-in rider. So he's filling in right now and on Millsap's ride. And so what's going to happen? Like, is he going to get a full factory ride? Like he's that guy that has so much more to prove than anybody else out there. And you can tell he's hungry. You can tell the old Bam Bam is back, and I think he is going to be that dark horse that, we got to keep an eye on him. And I'd like to put my money on him. I like rooting for the underdog. I was never really a Barsha fan. I wasn't really okay with a lot of his dirty moves he made out on the track, but I love the underdog story, and I love that this dude is coming out with a point to prove, and he is proving it, and he is doing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I like you said, I've never been a Barsha fan. I respect him as a rider, but I'm not a Barsha fan.
I feel bad saying that.
But I give the guy credit. Like I give him credit. Like I'm a fan this year. I'm going for him, but I think the dark horse of the whole deal here, in every event he's getting faster and faster, and I think people by the time we get to Vegas at the end of the year, I think he's going to be the fastest guy on track, but that's Ken Roxon. Like he's coming back from a career-ending injury, and people forget that. Like he should have never been riding again, and here he is a year later, and he's taking podiums.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jim. Like I think he's kind of building up. He's testing that comfort zone, testing his body, and he's not just jumping back in. Like he don't have to win those Supercross title, but again, he's right there where maybe he kind of plays it smart and rides like Ryan Dungey, who he's so calculated. Like he knows how many points he's got. He knows how to win championships. And Ken Roxon was groomed on that KTM team alongside Dungey for years. Yeah. They are trained to win championships, not just heat races and not just races every weekend. Like he knows how to put the work in for the long run and how to make calculated, smart decisions. And I think you're right. I think Ken coming into Vegas he's going to go up. When a lot of these riders kind of plateau and then have, they fall off the radar one weekend, they crash out one weekend, I think Ken is going to be on that slow incline all the way to the finish.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think, it's funny because a couple years ago, I remember, we talked about him when he was in 250s, and then he moved up to 450s. And like you said, he was Dungey's teammate. He was the young gun. He was the exuberant guy. Like now Ken Roxon's turning into the smart veteran rider. Like, and I think that injury, and I hate to say it, but I think that injury may have been the best thing that ever happened to his career, because we're seeing a different Ken. And I think this is a Ken that I think it made him a smarter rider. I think it made him a smarter rider. I think because he's not going to take the wild chances he used to. And I think that, it kind of humbled him a bit, and he knows he's not invincible. And like you said, I'm not saying guys should strive to be like Dungey, but I think there's a little bit of Dungey that guys can take away that will make them a better rider. And I think that's what we're seeing with Roxon.
Yes, I agree. But, I like them James Stewarts and the Chad Reeds and those wild cards that, whenever it comes time to hang it all out. And Ken did that, and I might miss that if that doesn't come back. But I think it will. Like, I think, and like you see it in his interviews, he's claimed that he's still going to win this championship, and he has all the confidence and cockiness that we know and love of the dude. But I think, yes, he's playing it safe, but I think he's going to come back. I think we're going to see the Ken Roxon that we know and love eventually.
Well, he's got that swagger. Roxon, last year we were talking about the suits, and all that. Like, he's got the swagger. You're not going to take that away from Ken Roxon. Like, the dude's got swagger. I give him credit. He's got personality, and I can respect the hell out of that. Like, you got to just love a guy
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, it's like Conor McGregor. Like, love him or hate him, you watch him because – and Ken Roczen is Supercross as Conor McGregor. And I mean that in the best possible way because I'm a massive Conor McGregor fan.
Absolutely.
But, you know, Ken Roczen's got that McGregor swagger. And, you know, he's going to take it all the way to the bank one way or another. So –
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got Brett Turcotte. He's coming up here, and you know, after the break, I guess we're about 3 or 4 minutes out. I guess Amy and I will have to talk some X Games later on in the show or something like that. But Turcotte's going to be a ton of fun. If you've got any questions for Mr. Brett Turcotte, please shoot them over. It's at JimBeaver15 on Twitter. We will definitely get them asked to the X Games. 2-time gold medalist now, I guess. Never had a gold going until this weekend, and now all of a sudden he walks away with 2 of them. He did have medals before, but taking a speed and style gold as well as a freestyle gold. And him and LaValle, man, they had quite a battle in both events. So looking forward to diving into that with Brett Turcotte. And don't forget, once again, Parker 425 this weekend, Parker Live Online. If you're wanting to tune into that, you can just check it out on the web, Parker Live Online. They're streaming the commentary all weekend long, or all Saturday long, from the Parker 425. So if you're looking for some Best in the Desert coverage, boom, they got you locked and loaded. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. I'm Polaris rider Jim Beaver. I race trophy trucks professionally, host a Down and Dirty radio show, and also travel the country announcing motorsports events. I've seen it all, and trust me, I've done most of it, so when it comes time to relax on the weekend, nothing is better than taking time with my family in our Razor vehicles. They've got the reliability I need to just pick up and go explore the desert, dunes, or trail, and have the capability to attack even the harshest terrain. If you're looking for some of the most reliable and safest, and hands down most capable off-road machines in the world, look no further than Polaris and their award-winning lineup of Razor vehicles. Whether you want your daughter to experience off-road driving for the first time in a Razor 170 like me, take the entire family out in a Razor XP4 1000 on the weekend, or shred the desert and dunes in the all-new Razor XP 1000 Fox Edition, Polaris has you handled. Take my advice and join me and some of the best drivers in the world by driving a Polaris Razor. Check out the full Polaris Razor lineup at Polaris.com, or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Polaris Razor.
Life is all about sound. The sound of sports. The sound at the racetrack. And the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
You're listening to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. All killer and no filler.
And we're back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver, Amy Hood, joined on the line by, I guess, double X Games gold medalist Brett Turcotte. How's everything going, Brett?
Yo, what's going on? Oh, not too bad.
Hey,
Actually,
Champ is here.
yeah. Just had to change out a flat tire. I had Nick get out underneath the trailer and do it for me, though, so that's not bad.
Yeah, see, I guess that's a good excuse, right? Oh, I got to do radio. You change the flat tire.
Yeah, everyone's joking, like, dude, carrying those two medals home must have wore the tires out.
Yeah. Oh man. So how does that? I got to ask you though. How does that feel? I know we talked to Paul Thacker, who's Paul's a good friend of Amy and I, and he'd worked years for the gold, right, or just for a medal. And I know you've got medals, but what is it like to finally take home that gold? I mean, it's got to taste just a little bit better than any of those other, any of the other colors, right?
Yeah, honestly, the first one was like over the top because just the suspense and everything, and having the history with Levi and having such a good battle on the track was, that one was crazy. That one definitely tops like even my first medal. I think just the effort of surprise that ESPN puts on everyone kind of makes it a little bit more exciting. So that was that was my goal, to go there and do well in speed and style. And I knew coming into freestyle that I had some tricks up my sleeve that were going to do well. I just didn't expect that I would score so high on my first run.
Yeah. Well,
and talk about that. They call it the California roll. I like that name, even though you got the Canadian roll or something, man. I mean, you got to represent that Canada life. But I mean, where did that come from? Is that was something that really obviously set the bar?
Yeah, the Cali roll. I think originally Taka Higashino was the first one to do it on a freestyle motocross bike. So him being from Japan got to kind of name it. I was setting out to do something that was different, hadn't been done on a sled before, and with Colton Moore being out, it kind of opened up the doors for someone else to go in there and stand on the top spot. So I just put the hard work in and spent a lot of time with DeMello at Camp H, and we just came away victorious, so couldn't be more excited about that.
Yeah. Well, I got to ask you about the speed and style one, because that's an interesting one, because I got to tell you and Levi, it was game on. I mean, he pulled almost the takeout move on you. It wasn't taking you out, but I mean, you guys were banging on each other pretty hard. But then all of a sudden, Levi gets the lead, and the way that thing works, I mean, it was one of those where in your mind you go, all right, we just got to be close. I don't need to chase him down, but I just got to nail my tricks. I mean, because there's strategy that comes into play there, right? Because you can still win even if technically you're a little bit slower than him. I mean, what kind of strategy was going through your mind when that's all playing out?
Yeah, I put in a ton of homework. Like, a lot of things that people don't realize is, like, you could go back and watch years and years of X Games speed and style on the internet. So I kind of had a good mindset going in. I knew who I was qualifying up against, and then when it came down to the finals, I just knew, like, if I don't get a good start, just make sure that I get my tricks good, because I knew that I could stay on his bumper just enough to keep the difference real close. And honestly, after our little pump and grind match in the corner, my sled was just so filled full of snow that it was just everything I could do to get over the first couple of jumps after he had got by. And I just kind of, put my head down and just tried to keep my hands dry so I wasn't falling off upside down. And it seemed like it worked out. I think that the difference was like 0.3 of a point or something when it came down
close,
to the final event. Yeah. It was, it's good racing. I mean, Levi and I have a good history of racing together, and that wasn't a very uncommon move for neither him or I to do to each other. So it was fun. It kind of brought back some memories of, racing on the Blair Morgan team and chasing championships on the Snowcross Series.
Yeah, well, that's got to feel fun, though. I mean, for you, racing against a guy like Levi, you know him. You guys know you're going to race each other hard, but it's not going to be, any kind of it's going to be clean. It's going to be rough, but it's not like you guys are going to, go below the belt or anything like that. So going into it, it's like, all right, we're going to have a fair shake here.
Yeah, totally. And, I mean, he's smart. He's a good racer. He called my bluff right away into that corner. He knew that that I would come in hot, and he just hit the brakes a long ways before I did and kind of just checked up and skirted around. Obviously, the same move I kind of would have expected if he tried to come underneath of me. So, it's cool to race against a guy that has experience like that, because you can race rough and not worry about getting T-boned and hurt. So, I think it was a good show. I think that you'll definitely see speed and style back, and hopefully I can come back and defend both golds. So it seems kind of like a major feat right now, but I mean, I got another 30 hours of driving to go ahead of me, so I got lots of thinking to do about what I'm going to do next year.
Yeah, well, and it wasn't just those two events. I mean, you were in four total events. I don't know if anybody at X Games was in that many, but I mean, shoot, we got to talk about snow bikes. I mean, you were in snow bike racing, you were in best trick. How is the whole snow bikes with you? I mean, a lot of guys, it seems like now Cody Cam's like the one that's kind of crossing over and doing both, but it seems like there's a lot of guys that are, they're either going the snow bike route or the snowmobile route, but you're the one guy that's like, nah, I'm just going to do it all, right? I mean, how has that been, the transition back and forth?
It was good. I mean, it was definitely tough. I kind of ducked out of the racing right at the very end. They had me as an alternate spot, and I kind of bowed out of it at the last minute. But I was just more focused on the best trick thing, and it is different, man. It was a lot of work, and it was a lot of stress on me and my mechanics and everyone around, just because it's so new and it's such a crazy thing to undertake. Is like, hey, we're going to go flip a snow bike today, and I didn't have the best practice history with backflip in it, so it was nerve-wracking. I didn't flip until about an hour before contest time, so
oh wow,
it was it was stressful. And honestly, the hardest part of that whole thing was getting the bike to track straight into the ramp, just because during the day the turf would be thawed out and you could actually kind of steer the ski, but during the night it froze up hard and it got real slippery. It was like trying to ride rollerblades on ice. So it was it was a challenge, but I think that I think we put on a good show for ESPN and for the fans that got to watch it, and I think it's sparking interest, like you say, across the snowmobile guys, and there's moto guys getting interested. So it's just another sport that they're trying to make happen, and for me it fits naturally because I ride the snow bike in the backcountry quite a bit. I mean, probably 50-50 between the sleds, so it's fun for me. And like I say, I'm already looking forward to next year, things that I could change and things that we could do with the ramps and just try and help evolve the sport.
Yeah, well, and I feel like, snow bike, at least best trick or freestyle as we want to call it, I feel like it's seriously like FMX 20 years ago. Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, like, I completely respect everything you guys are doing, and it's like, you guys are trying to push the limits, and you guys are progressing so much faster than FMX did, but I'm like, this is still a new sport. Like, nobody's got it figured out. Guys are coming up with custom kits for the bikes now, and you know what I mean? It's like, I don't think anybody really quite knows how far and fast this thing's going to go. It's still like, I think, outside fans tune in, and they're like, oh, well, how come that guy isn't doing a double flip, or something like that, but I'm looking at it going, man, you guys, what you've done in like 12 months with these things is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
like, I wouldn't even say 12 months. We'd be lucky if we had 12 weeks. I mean, Jacko showed up with a kit that looked like something out of the death race. I mean, ironically, it was 69 inches long, and it did the trick for him. He utilized the dirt bike rear shock, which is definitely smart on his point, and I mean, it flipped like a dirt bike for him, so it was natural. Whereas I started with a 120-inch kit, cut it down to 90 inches, and stole the track off of some guy's DR200. And I mean, we put it all together, and it worked. My kit wasn't excellent, but it did its job, and I think that, like I say, it is so new, and the progression rate is so vertical. Like, we went from, I was the first guy to flip one ever 2 years ago to now there's how many guys flipping them, and it's a contest at the X Games. So I think that it definitely has a future, and it's got a spot for numerous styles of athletes to, you can get real creative with the kits, and if you want to use a long one, a short one, what ramp, like, these are still all things that we're learning as we go. So it's cool to be a part of that sort of elite group.
Yeah, and
I mean, you guys are definitely the front runners of the progression of snow bikes. Like, I'm really excited to see where it's going to be next year, because again, like you said, in that short amount of time, it's crazy what you guys are doing, and people are jumping on these things right away with only a couple weeks of practice, and and throwing it down. Like, I can't imagine, given some time now, and kind of now you guys set that bar and set that pace, and how quickly it's going to progress.
Yeah, even talking with guys like Filippoto and that, like, super bummed that he didn't make the final, but he's already like, well, maybe next year I'll get more than 2 days of practice on it and come back and actually show my ability.
Yeah.
But the joke of the weekend was like, dude, you got the biggest whip in snow bike. But it was, it's cool to see, you know, there's a racing side of it, there's a freestyle side of it, there's an actual free ride side of it. So, yeah, it is definitely kind of following the lines of motocross, and it's cool to see, you know, snowmobile guys switch over and vice versa. So it's, it's pretty funny actually watching all the moto guys. They're standing around with their sunflower heaters trying to stay warm, and I'm in full moto gear and just a pit coat and perfectly content. So it's, it makes for good fun for everyone, and I think that once there's a general series established and not just 4 or 5 small ones, then it'll give someone the chance to, you know, have a championship to their name and be able to carry momentum just the way that the motocross rankings happen.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, that being said, X Games, I mean, that's the big one for a guy like you. Now that's out of the way. I mean, what's the rest of the winter look like? I mean, just training and doing some free ride stuff and filming, I'm assuming. I mean, what's next for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that I can get home and kind of put my feet up for a day or two, but it doesn't really look like that's going to happen. So, actually stepping away from X Games and being a double medalist has made my winter and probably my summer twice as busy as I'd expected it to be. So, I'm going to try and get some video parts put together and just enjoy some family and friends time. I've put a lot of time into just being the best person on the snowmobile as I could. So kind of give it back to my family now and hang out and do some stuff with the kids and enjoy the snow while we have it. And then come springtime, get back on the bikes, and I'm already planning on going down to the Vegas Supercross and kind of just relaxing and having a little bit of vacation with my wife. So looking forward to that.
Well, I really do think that you should also, vacation at the Vegas Monster Jam. It is World Finals, and it's like a week after, and I hear it's a big deal. Kids love it.
Says the zombie monster jam driver. Yeah, right. And I got to ask. I know Amy swiped your car from you at the Turcotte Elk River round, but we're going to see you back doing some Turcotte. I know you and I had some fun out there at Heydays, and man, you walked away with a win there. But we're going to see you back, maybe sliding some razors around in Joe Duncan series.
I hope so, man. That was a blast. That was a ton of fun, and the 4-wheel thing is really starting to spark some interest on my side, and especially with Textron hoping to come out with a new race buggy. So there's already been some discussions about where I want to take that direction, and hopefully it ends up going the way that I expect it to. And I'd like to do some desert racing here pretty soon as well. So I'd like to open up some doors. I just turned 30 yesterday, so I guess with age comes a cage.
Yeah, that's what we're all saying, right? Oh, man.
Story of my life. Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, Brett, man. We'll let you get back on the road. Hopefully the tire is back on the rig by now, but much appreciated, my friend, and congrats on the 2 golds.
All right, man. Thank you. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Take it easy.
See
you, Brett.
All right, and we'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on 4 wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you, but you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. Do you race or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500 or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Your life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the Amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water. Right on the money.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle and Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, just getting done with Brett Turcotte, double X Games gold medalist, and man, this dude is uber talented. I had the opportunity to actually race against him in Terracross. I got second, and he got first. So he got the better of me at that round. But lots of fun. Definitely, if you're just tuning in and you missed that, you want to skip back and I guess go to iTunes and listen there, or downanddirtyshow.com. But definitely worth the listen. And thanks a lot to Brett Turcotte for phoning into the show. Also got to we've got kind of, I think I'm going to do a director's cut of that. It was solid enough, and air it on Project Action, dropping this Thursday. So if you missed that, definitely check out Project Action this Thursday, and you'll be able to catch it there as well. Project Action, obviously, if you didn't know, that's my second show. We do highlights from the Down and Dirty Radio Show. We do original interviews with some of the best in action sports, Hollywood, racing, pop culture. It's a ton of fun. It's called Project Action on Podcast One. I air it from this studio, but it's only available on iTunes, Podcast One, and downanddirtyshow.com. So if you're not, please go over there, check it out. Subscribe to it, and subscribe to the Down and Dirty Radio Show as well. It's always a good time to have you guys listening to all our stuff, and always give me feedback on social media. But tons of fun happening there over on Project Action. We're nearing almost 2 years now that we've been doing that show. So it's always growing. It's been a slow growth, but we've got about 10,000 of you guys listening to every episode. So it's always a good thing. And speaking of good things, obviously, as I've mentioned it earlier in the show, if you're listening live on KLPZ 1380, and this is Saturday and this is race day at the Parker 425, stay tuned, because after the show we're going to get into some live Parker 425 coverage. And if you guys aren't, and you're listening on one of the other 200 networks around the country, or listening online, make sure and go to Parker Live Online Saturday afternoon, and you'll be able to watch live Parker 425 coverage from the Best in the Desert race, one of the biggest desert races in the country. And it's happening this Saturday, and Parker Live Online, they're going to have you covered with tons of original content around the race. So make sure and check that out, and we will be back after this short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. Kicking off hour number 2 here on your favorite action motorsports radio show. And right now we are going to get into a Dirtfish Rally report from our good friends at Dirtfish Rally School. You can find out more information on the web at www.dirtfish.com. And if you're looking for a discount code, I know you guys always hit me up on social media. Jimmy, get me a discount at Dirtfish. Well, here you go. It's JB Dirtfish, and that'll get you 15% off any and all classes at Dirtfish Rally School. So you want a 3-day? We're talking like, saving you a lot of money. So not that Dirtfish is expensive, but you get what you pay for. And I'm giving you a discount. So JB Dirtfish gets you 15% off up there at Dirtfish Rally School. And speaking of rallying, we had the first big rally, I guess, in the United States of the year, and it was a Rally America Snow Drift Rally. This is one of my favorites. It's an interesting one. That's why it's one of my favorites. It's unique. Anyways, it's up there in Atlanta, Michigan, and generally very, very cold, lots of snow, and it's definitely brutally tough to win. But got to give a shout out to your top 3 on the podium, and top 3 in SP class: Dave Brown, Chris Baribeau, and Timothy Rooney finishing 1, 2, and 3. Looking at two-wheel drives, it was Adam Van Dam, Mike Erickson, and Kiana Erickson Chang finishing 1, 2, and 3. And Kiana Erickson Chang taking that B-Spec victory and putting that B-Spec on the national two-wheel drive podium. That is legit. I gotta give a shout out to my girl Kiana. I've known her for a few years back from my Rally America days when I was Rally America radio host. And this girl, you can ask Street Bike Tommy. She did battle with Tommy, and he ended up winning the rally on a like a stupid penalty, right? But if you ask him, he's like, Kiana, man, that girl can whoop me in a rally car any day of the week. And I got to tell you, she is uber talented. If you're not following her on Instagram, you should be doing so now. Next couple of years, I think you're going to hear a lot more about this girl. But talented beyond belief in a rally car, and she's just getting better and faster. So big shout out to Kiana Erickson Chang on that victory in B-Spec and the national two-wheel drive podium. It is not an easy feat. Also, if you guys are wanting to learn how to drive in the snow, you can check out the Subaru winter driving experience. You can go to dirtfish.com for more details on that. And we will be back after this short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR. But before we do, make sure and use that coupon code JB Dirtfish for 15% off at Dirtfish Rally School. Back after this. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris RZR brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris RZR because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team RZR because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris RZR because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris RZR because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRZR.com or follow at Polaris RZR on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the Amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Want the latest from Jim Beaver and Amy Hood? Follow at Jim Beaver 15 and at Amy Hood 71 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we are back here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris RZR, and this is our Terracross Starts with Optimus segment, brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters, starting every Polaris RZR on the Terracross grid, and probably a good chunk of snowmobiles in Winter X Games and pretty much everything in all power sports. So welcome to the line, Joe Duncan, to our Optimus Starts with Terracross segment. You still up there in Colorado?
We're still here, in beautiful Aspen, Colorado, and just ready to head back to Minnesota.
Yeah, I was going to say you got a big week ahead of you. You get done with X Games, now you're heading to Super Bowl, and you got obligations there. It's a busy time for Joe Duncan, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's good. Just wrapped up one of the best X Games ever. Had some amazing events, some great competitions with some great athletes, and super pumped on how 2018 X Games wrapped up.
Yeah, just having Brett Turcotte on the line. Thank you for helping set that up, by the way. He was super pumped, and I got to tell you, and I know you were there on the ground floor, but that Speed and Style final with Levi and him. That had to have been – Speed and Style is one of those, like, once in a while it's really, really good, and then once in a while it's just like, This was this is probably one of the best Speed and Styles ever in the history of X Games, that final with Turcotte and LaValle, and LaValle banging on him in the corner, and literally it was, went down to the wire with points. Like, I don't know. It was really, really good.
It was good. It was a great course, great layout, big jumps, great ramp setup for the tricks, and yeah, actually there was 4 great races that led us to that amazing final, and yeah, the guys came for the challenge for sure this year.
Yeah, well, and we got to talk snowbike because you've been one of the guys that his privately kind of been the driving force behind this new sport of snow bike racing. I'm thinking way back to Crested Butte and the Ultimate Snowmobiler. I mean, you had snow bikes racing there, and it was one of the first times I think they ever actually raced each other type of thing. But, them in X Games now, I know even Turcotte was saying, he's like, nobody knows where the heck this sport's going, whether it be racing or freestyle. I think we're still like in the infancy of this sport, and it's like everybody I talk to is like they're wanting in. It's like, let's get in, and you've got all these people coming in, and it's just like, man, where's this thing going to go, Joe?
It's all of the above. I mean, we obviously created a new sport with Snowbike Best Trick, and we did the demo with Jacko last year, and this year it's an actual full competition, and it was great. It's its infancy. It's like brand new. The kits were all, half of them were custom built, custom made. The winner was on a full size timber sled kit. So it was anybody's game out there, which as a consumer, as a watcher, as a enthusiast, those are the greatest things when you don't know what's going to happen in that competition. And that's exactly what happened. And we had some great competition with very little training and setup time for these guys, just with the whole brand new aspect of the sport. Picture this a year from now with some better track, better kit setup, better training, more practice, and being able to have these guys on the top of their game instead of just trying to come in to pull something off. They'll be training and building and really creating a brand new sport from scratch, kind of like we did many years ago with speed and style. And then obviously before that, freestyle. When all this stuff got built, it's just one step at a time. And then X Games takes it to that another level and builds that following and builds that determination to do the best that they can with their equipment as well as with themselves as the athletes.
Yeah. And, I'm just looking at the names and the people coming in, and it's very, very exciting time to be involved in the snow bike industry. And, I think we called it last winter. I said, 2017, 2018 winter is the year that this sport really explodes. And I see it starting to explode, but I don't think we've quite reached the point where it's gone, nuclear, but I see it going nuclear here very, very soon. I mean, when you're getting guys like Ryan Villapoto, one of the greatest supercross riders ever, come into snow bike, I mean, we're talking about this thing having some legs, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, and not only coming into it, but being, somewhat successful right off the bat. Him and Josh Hill and Cody Cam and a bunch of these amazing athletes, coming in and being a part of it. But I'll tell you, the best part about it is the camaraderie and the fun they're having with it, and that they're enjoying this new sport and growing with the new sport. Not just the all out who's the winner, but just having a great time with it, and us as the organizer, designing these cool new tracks that are built just for the snow bikes and building these setups that are, they've never been done before. This is all brand new, and we learn every time we go out there. And this year we learned a lot, and we have some really cool stuff coming for next year. We've got a Triple Crown series for Snowbike Cross coming. Details will be launched in the next 90 days. We have the X Games. We've got guys coming out of the woodwork after obviously Ryan Villapoto and Josh Hill and these very big names, Cody Cam, all come out. We got, Matichuk and Hoyer that have been snowbike guys for a long time. Now it's opening up that door to many, many, many more people. And we're going to try and get that California crowd involved. There's a lot of dirt bikes out there in California, and we could throw a track kit or two on a few of those. Would be a great thing.
Yeah, Yeah, well, and the thing about California is there's actually snow, and it's not far from Southern California up there and Big Bear and things like that. So it's not like they don't have anywhere to ride. It's just giving them a reason to go up there and do it, So I think there's a lot.
That's the point.
Yeah, I think there's a lot, a lot we can do, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about this Triple Crown. I know it's something you and I have talked about for a while, but it's definitely an exciting time for X Games. But moving on, we got to talk about Super Bowl this weekend. I know we had Levi on last week. We've got you on this week. You're helping with Levi's big jump downtown Minneapolis, Nicollet Mall. I mean, this is pretty darn big, Joe. The Super Bowl is as big as it gets, and bringing in Levi to do a jump and things like that. I mean, that's a pretty massive undertaking.
Yeah, that's all Levi and Polaris. They've got a great team down there putting that together. We're going to go down there and hang out with those guys. There's some other people from X Games coming to town. We're going to go out and cheer on Levi and putting on a great show for whatever it is, the million some people that come in over the week of Super Bowl to Minneapolis. So pretty damn cool that Levi and his team are down there pulling off that show for Super Bowl, and the eyes that are going to be able to see that, the amount of exposure for snowmobiles and snowmobile freestyle. I mean, it's a pretty cool gig that they're able to go down and pull that off with Polaris.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And what's up next for you? Obviously, I guess Winter X Games is wrapped up now. Is Joe moving on? And we got big series this year, big year for Turcotte coming up. Is that kind of what's next on the agenda for you?
That's next. It started yesterday already with some calls and some sponsors and some racers, and by the end of the week we have a bunch of sponsors that we now can get information to and start getting the 2018 Turcotte season in full swing.
All right. Well, I am definitely looking forward to it, Joe. Thank you for calling in, my friend. We will definitely talk again next week.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jimmy.
All right. Thanks, Joe. All right, and that was Joe Duncan with Turcotte. That was our Turcotte Starts with Optimus segment, brought to you by our good friends at Optimus Starters, starting every Polaris Razor on the Turcotte Championship grid. And once again, giving you the rundown, obviously Brett Turcotte taking that speed and style medal. If you want all the results, you're going to have to tune into Project Action. But Brett Turcotte, snowmobile freestyle medal. Cody Matichuk taking that snow bike cross gold. Big shout out to him. Rob Adelberg taking the snow bike best trick win. Harley Davidson snow hill climb was Travis Whitlock. And full results for snow bike cross. Got to give a shout out to Cody Cam with the bronze, and Brock Hoyer coming back with another medal, just silver this go around. So we are going to take a short commercial break. We come back, I'm going to be talking some Parker 425, and then we've also got IndyCar driver turned off-road racer Alex Figge calling into the show as well. So a lot coming at you here. Hour number 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
They gained international success with their Grammy Award-winning song, Heaven. See Los Lonely Boys with featured artist Lisa Morales. Live Saturday, March 24th on the amphitheater stage at the Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gates open at 6 p.m. Show starts at 7 p.m. General admission now $29. $39 the day of the show. Or VIP tickets only $59. Tickets on sale now.
Blue Water Resort and Casino. Right on the water, right on the money.
You're life demands a tire that provides durability, comfort, and performance, and that's what General Tire delivers for you. From the all-season grip of the Grabber UHP to the comfort and on-road manners of the Grabber HTS to the durability and off-road traction of the Grabber AT2, General has a tire that will help get you where you need to go. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible, because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Hi, I'm Danny LaRue, host of Real GM Radio, where every week I go in-depth on NBA basketball through conversations with some of the brightest basketball minds out there, including Kevin Pelton, Nate Duncan, Chris Herring, Tim Bontemps, and team experts from all around the league. We try to separate the truth from the noise for players, teams, and NBA draft prospects alike with a focus on the basketball itself. If you want to know what is coming next in the NBA and why, there's no better place to turn than the weekly episodes of Real GM Radio.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Like what you hear? Catch all the back episodes of the Down and Dirty Radio Show on Apple Podcast, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe.
All right, welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. And before we start talking some Parker 425, I got to tell you about a good partner of ours in this show and something that they've got running, and that is for the 2018 Indy 500, one of the greatest spectacles in all of motorsports, and they're giving away a trip, but just not any trip. It's the ultimate Indy 500 fan experience, and that's what exactly AMSOIL, maker of some of the best synthetic motor oils on the planet, is giving away this spring. One grand prize winner will win the trip of a lifetime to the Indy 500 to watch some of the fastest cars and best drivers on the planet battle to have their names etched alongside the greats like Foyt, Andretti, Unser, and Castroneves. That's not all, though. Listen to what else awaits the grand prize winner. You're going to get pit access at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, dinner with an Indy 500 legend, VIP track access, suite access to watch the race, $1,000 in cold, hard cash, a round-trip airfare for two to and from Indianapolis, Indiana, hotel accommodations for two for up to 5 nights at a hotel near Indianapolis Motor Speedway, ground transportation to and from the airport, hotel, and speedway, and a chance to meet the drivers. And just like they do when they're making high-performance synthetic motor oils, AMSOIL went the extra mile with this sweepstakes. If that's not enough, 10 first-place winners will also receive 1 free digital download code for Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. That's right, Indy 500, Monster Energy Supercross video games, AMSOIL has you covered. So, to enter the AMSOIL Ultimate Indy 500 fan experience, text Indy, that's I-N-D-Y, to 41487. That's Indy, I-N-D-Y, to 41487, or visit AMSOIL.com/Indy. That's AMSOIL.com/Indy. And I got to tell you, I was at the Indy 500 last year doing radio and had a very similar experience that they're giving away. And I got to tell you, it is absolutely insane. If you guys win that, you are going to love life. That is definitely for sure. So I would get in on that. I've already sent my entry in, so I'm just telling you, I'm competing with you guys. I'm also promoting it, but I'm competing. And speaking of Indy 500, I do, we do talk a little IndyCar here and there. Haven't recently, but Chip Ganassi, I had the opportunity to interview him a few years back out at one of the GRC, like their media day. And Chip Ganassi was such a nice guy. But I've got to give him a big shout out. Sorry, man. I'm getting allergies in here in the studio. But no, Chip Ganassi taking their 200th victory as a team. It's a mix of NASCAR, IndyCar, a couple of rallycross victories, as well as some road racing and 24 hours of Daytona victories. But 200 wins in motorsports doesn't come very easy. I know Richard Petty obviously has them. You've got guys like Rob McCachran, Carl Renesetter, but that's just on the dirt sports side. But I don't know. I'm sure Penske's got 200 victories, but it's not really easy to get to that number. So big shout out to Chip Ganassi Racing and Chip for those 200 wins, man. It's definitely not an easy feat whatsoever. So coming up after the break, we're a bit a ways from that break, but we're gonna have Alex Figge, driver for Camberg Racing and General Tire. He's gonna be on the show, but before that, I'm here to tell you a little bit about what's going down. So Parker 425, one of the oldest off-road races in the country, just a couple years shy of 50 years. I think the only two that are older, it might be the Mint 400 and the Snore 250, and the Snore 250's moved around to a bunch of different locations. So it's just kind of the Snore 250 in name only. So I don't know. I know there's some Snore listeners that listen into the show that like Snore off-road, and I'm just saying, it doesn't really count. Mint 400's got us clipped here in Parker by a couple, but this is one of the biggest ones. Big fan turnout. We'll have 30,000 people here. If you haven't ever been to Parker, seriously, and you got nothing going this weekend and you're in the Southwest, come out here. Hotels have been sold out for 6 months, so you better grab a tent. But it's absolutely an insane race. Got 41 Class 10 cars entered. I'm just, running down this list here. 41 Class 10s. Got a handful in a few other classes. Class 6000 has 15 entries. Trick Truck, 50 entries. 50 entries in Trick Truck. Crazy numbers in Trick Truck. And then you go down and, if that's not enough, Class 1500, a.k.a. Class 1, there's another 20 entries there. And then you go down, the next big class we're going to be looking at is 6100, 44 entries in 6100. So literally between Trick Truck, 6100, and Class 10, you're looking at close to 150 entries. Madness, I say. Absolutely madness. I don't know when you're tuning into the show because we're all over the place, but starting this Thursday, things kick off here in Parker. We've got qualifying and time trials. I'll be uploading some stuff to my social media at JimBeaver15, so definitely stay tuned there. But Best in the Desert, our friends at Race Desert, they will be doing some coverage of the Parker 425. So race-desert.com. You can get all those qualifying results there and their social media accounts. This is a non-UTV race. We raced a couple of weeks ago here in the Parker 250. I'm not racing the trophy truck or the trick truck at this one. New engine isn't quite finished yet. That's kind of the lowdown there. Friday, we've got Contingency Row and Vendor Day. It's going to be packed. It's one of the biggest contingencies of the year. It's kind of the kickoff to off-road season here in Parker, and so it really brings in a lot of fans and a lot of vendors, so, and obviously a lot of race teams. And then Saturday, race day, it's split up. You got the slower classes. I don't mean slower like derogatory. They just split the classes up. Class 10, super quick, but they start in the mornings, starting about 5:30, 6 a.m., and then Trick Trucks, Trophy Trucks take off the line about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, it's going to be a tag team there with some of the fastest classes in all of racing, some of the fastest drivers. I'm just looking down this Trick Truck entry list, and I got to say, Jason Voss, he's going to be tough to beat. Justin Matney, but then, you keep going down. You got Steve Serapis, Cameron Steele, Jerry Zayden, Jerry Welchel, the man, the legend. You want to talk 200 wins? I think Jerry's got over 300 to his name. He's back under Camberg Racing banner with General Tires for 2018, and you got to love seeing Welchel back behind the wheel. You got Rob McCachran. He's going to be here in Parker. Tim and Ed Herbst, they are racing. Man, it's Dan McMillan, Gary Wyrick. They're teaming up. That's something new. That's definitely going to be interesting ones to watch. Steve Olages, Mr. Consistent, Andy McMillan. He's got an all-new truck that he's going to be racing in 2018, stepping away from that truck that he had all those victories in with Tisco. Now he's racing a new Mason-built trophy truck. That number 31 is going to be interesting to see how that debuts here out at Parker. Justin Lofton, Kurt Leduc, the legend, he's there. He's teaming up with Bradley Morris, so that's something new. That's going to be interesting to see how they work together. And then obviously Robbie Gordon, he's in action. Johnny Angel, man, he is everybody's favorite to watch on social media. But yeah, like I said, Robbie Gordon. We got Luke McMillan, the Serapises teaming up with Troy Herbst. BJ Baldwin, he's here. I think the only one I see missing is Bryce Menzies. I don't know where B Money is. Maybe he'll be a late entry, a late go to the party or something like that. But it's going to be a big one here. Parker 425. Like I said, qualifying time trial start on Thursday morning, and Race Desert will have coverage of that. I know there will be some live streaming, so check out Facebook, Best in the Desert's thing, and they'll be doing some live streaming. I don't know about time trials, but I do know race day they will be. And like I said, at Jim Beaver 15, I'll be doing updates all weekend long as well. So lots of stuff happening, man, this weekend. It's a big one. Parker 425 presented by Impact, title sponsored by Blue Water Resort and Casino. Gonna be an awesome show. And once again, our good friends at Parker Live Online, definitely go and check them out. They will have full race day coverage there, parkerliveonline.com. They'll have radio coverage. They will have updates, interviews with drivers, photos, be all uploaded to parkerliveonline.com. So I don't know, man. It's going to be an exciting event. One of the biggest off-road events of the year as far as desert racing goes. I'd say this and the Mint 400. Probably your big three as far as United States races go. Desert racing is Parker 425, Mint 400, Vegas to Reno, and then obviously in Baja you got the 500, the 1,000, and San Felipe, which has kind of gotten a little bit smaller, but I see that bouncing back a bit. So those are kind of your big ones happening. And it's going to be a solid weekend of racing. Looking forward to it. Hopefully we see some of you guys out there. If you do, definitely hit me up. I take those DMs on social media. I get a lot of fans always saying, "Hey, I want to catch up with you." But I will be out and around. So thank you guys. I think I'll be doing a signing with Vision Wheel, and I know Tiffany Stone's coming to town. Rob McCackern. I think the three of us might be doing some signings there at Vision Wheel. So definitely step by their booth out at Contingency on Friday and say what's up to me. We're going to take a short break here on the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. We come back from the break. Alex Figge, driver for General Tire and Camberg Racing, former IndyCar driver, he's going to be on the line talking about the big race this weekend. So a lot more desert racing coverage coming at you. Hour number 2 of the Down and Dirty Radio Show powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
Do you race, or are you a weekend warrior? Have you checked on the date on your helmet recently? Don't get caught off guard by using an outdated helmet. Impact Racing, the leader in motorsport safety, has new SA 2015 helmets to fit your budget. Whether you're looking for a helmet with a full carbon fiber shell to take you to victory at the Indy 500, or just looking for some helmets for a weekend at Glamis, Impact Racing has a helmet for you. Find out more information at impactraceproducts.com or on Facebook at Impact Safety. Since 1970, KC Highlights has been designing and manufacturing performance lighting for off-road and motorsports, beginning with the legendary Daylighter up until today's revolutionary Flex, Pod, and Pro 6 lighting systems. KC Highlights offers a full line of halogen, HID, and LED lighting solutions for your off-road vehicle. Looking for the best quality lighting? Looking for the brand champions choose? You're looking for KC Highlights. Find out more information at kchighlights.com or follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KC Highlights.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
Welcome back to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Jim Beaver here, joined on the line by my General Tire teammate, Alex Figge, driver for Camberg Racing. How's everything going, my friend?
Everything's great, man. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's been a while. I guess a while in the making, but glad to finally have you here. I guess it's no better time than now. We got a big race to kick off 2018 on tap this weekend. But how's everything been with you?
Just a few days away.
Yeah.
Everything's been good. I mean, you know how it is. Busy life when you're not racing, and kind of waiting to get back the next time you are racing. I mean, that's how it is, right?
Yeah, well, I saw on social media, though, man, you had a big winter of hunting, man. It looked like you had a couple of solid outings there, huh?
Absolutely. I own an outfitting business.
Oh, do you? Okay.
For waterfowl hunting, so it's kind of a family business. So it's nice that it kind of lines up with the off season for sure, and gives me a chance to do that. But yeah, we had a good time. A lot of good people out there always.
Yeah, no, I didn't know you had an outfitting business. So now you got me like tuned in, because that's the other side of me that I never even talk about, is like the hunting and the outdoors side. I once in a while on my podcast, I get guests like Ava Shockey on, and I had the guys from KUIU on and things like that. So then it's like really fun because I can totally explore that. But I had no idea you had an outfitting business. So here I'm like, man, we don't know where this direction this is going to go now.
We have a farm in I'm from the Midwest originally. I'm from about around the Iowa-Illinois border originally, and we have a dedicated waterfowl property there, and then we have some leases kind of throughout the U.S. and up into Alberta. So it's a lot of waterfowl hunting that goes on. That's for sure.
No kidding, man. So let's talk a little bit about off-road. I know Jerry has been a good friend of mine for a long time. Obviously, you're racing desert racing under the Camberg banner. How did this – I want to talk about your career a bit, and then kind of the transition to off-road, because, I mean, you're a guy like, you know, with the IndyCar background, road racing background. I mean, you've got some legit – legit street cred in road racing world. How did that whole transition happen for you? Because I mean, that's one, like, there's a lot of guys that are in that world of road racing and IndyCar, and they wouldn't necessarily take the leap into off road because a lot of them would view it as kind of out of their comfort zone. Man, I mean, how has that been for you?
I mean, I would say there's both sides of it. I'm comfortable, obviously, sort of behind the wheel on four wheels. It's been sort of my whole life. I'm 36 now. I've been doing it since I was 15. So it's been a long road, so to speak, of racing and of driving. And when I ended with McLaren, very amicably, awesome team, awesome company, I was looking to do something else, obviously. And I just, not getting any younger. I know Ryan Hunter-Ray pretty well, who is Robbie Gordon's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And that was a connection that I had, and I was like, well, let me see what goes on there. And, Robbie was he threw a few people sort of 6100, the spec trucks looked like a good fit for somebody to look into do what I was doing. And obviously, since I've started it, and before I started it, that series has grown, and it's obviously one of the most competitive now. And so through that, I sort of got in touch through another mutual friend with Jason and Jerry, and over at Camberg, and it just honestly sort of worked out. Had a long-time relationship with Continental Tire, who obviously that's General, and it's been an awesome ride, man. Off-road, like desert racing is like the craziest sport to explain to all my buddies that are still road racing, I mean, they're kind of the same as you. They can't really believe I'm doing it.
No, I'm stoked to have you here, man. I'm one of those guys, like, open arms. Like, that's what I'm all about. More the merrier in off-road. I like to hear about guys' stories on how they got where they're at, because it's especially coming from IndyCar world, it's you don't have a lot of guys that make that transition over here to the dirt. And like, I look at you and I'm like, man, like I look at like Red Bull Global Rallycross and I'm like, now that you got the dirt experience, you got that road racing, I'm like, man, they put you in like one of those all-wheel drive Subaru GRC cars that's like 650 horsepower, dude. You'd be like kid in a candy store.
Oh, I mean, certainly it's stuff I'm working on, I mean, rallycross is something I'd like to do. I'd love to try some stage rally. I'm actually going up to your neck of the woods, up to Dirtfish, I think next month.
Oh, nice.
Which should be a blast. I've been wanting to do that and sort of been communicating with them, and it looks like they might have some space for me for a couple days next month, which I would be like, man, I won't sleep that whole week. I've always wanted to do that. I'll be psyched. And as you know, man, I mean, once you do the off-road stuff, it's like really rad. Like I don't really know. It's hard to have like the words to explain it. Like trophy trucks, like big time buggies, like they're so capable and they're so fast. I mean, even coming from IndyCar and major sports car, it's like, it's the raddest. Like there's no other way to describe it. Like, I mean, it's like going across a drainage ditch at 120 miles an hour and the thing doesn't, I mean, it's just it's like almost like a cartoon how awesome the vehicles are. And as you know, I mean, it gets addicting,
Yeah. Well, how has that learning experience been with you in the desert? Because I know, you've been in it a few years now. I mean, and you've worked your way up. I mean, first race, I mean, till now. I mean, what have you taken away? What have you learned? Because obviously, if you can drive a race car and the skill set transfers over, you know what I mean? But, there's also, you add in, boulders and silt beds and all that crazy crap that comes along with the desert. And that's something, I don't care how much you've driven, you can't prepare for, right?
The skill set does transfer. Certainly, maybe the I don't know what word I would use. Not exactly mindset, but the comfort level of driving at speed. That all transfers over. I would say really the most challenging part is kicking certain habits that come from road racing. Which, if you didn't do a lot of road racing, you wouldn't necessarily have these bad habits for off-road. I mean, good habits for road racing, bad habits for off-road. In off-road, you really have to like let the vehicle do what it needs to. I mean, you have to let that truck do what it was built to do, and trust that if you're smooth, if you're relaxed, that it will, it will do that well, because they do. So I definitely constantly trying to tell myself to relax and let things happen, which is easier said than done sometimes. And then beyond that, it's the features which you just mentioned, which are really there's no way to learn it but miles in the desert, which is, like you said, boulders, big G outs, big berms, different, the dirt being different, whether it's softer or harder. and to know what to do in each of those situations when I'm lucky enough to get some time in the truck with Jerry Welchel over at Camberg, and obviously the guy's a legend,
Yeah.
you know, and he has won everything. And that's really what I notice is not so much a mile per hour thing or a pace. It's more of he just is doing everything right all the time in every part of the desert. Keeping the front of the truck up, easy on the equipment. It's awesome to watch. And so that's where you have a lot to learn, you know?
Yeah, and you know, Jerry, he's one of the best, and I know like one of the big things I can imagine with you too is like you know you come from, you know, whether it be your time in IndyCar or sports cars and you know and like everything's so precise. And then you move into these big, heavy trucks, and like you said, you've almost got to be patient, wait, you know, because a lot of it's about to get him to rotate right. It's about weight transfer and things like that, and you know, and everything is so big, and you know, and it's like you said, it's got to almost be slowed down to an extent. It's the patience game, you know what I mean? Like it'll come and it'll be really fast, but you've just got to wait for it, you know.
You're absolutely right. I mean, the off-road, like they don't want to be, especially in a trophy. You know, obviously, if you're in like a real finely tuned rally car, then you do bring some of that precision back. But in the truck, you're absolutely right. They don't want to be saved all the time, you know. And my instinct is to like constantly save it as fast as possible, and that can really, honestly, get you in some trouble. It's much better, like you said, to just sort of let those weight transfers happen. Like you're almost there just to kind of. I almost view it as like. And again, it's easier said than done. You just want to let that good vehicle be a good vehicle. Like just let it do. Jason builds an awesome truck. It's going to work if you just stay relaxed and
You're just kind of guiding it. You know, it's like we'll just kind of guide it. Let it do a thing. We'll just let it not go too far to the right or too far to the left, and we'll just kind of let it do what it wants in between, right?
But then obviously you get to mix in going off like awesome jumps and like you know it is like the coolest. Like I said, it's any of my buddies who are passionate about driving, passionate about cars, trucks, anything. It's like it's one of the craziest. It's like a sensory assault, even more so than an Indy car or a GT1 car or a prototype. It's like you almost can't believe what's going on. You know, it's awesome.
Yeah. So we got to talk about this weekend. Got a few minutes left, but Parker 425 coming up. You've done this race before. Qualifying on Thursday, race Saturday. I mean, 6,100, man. It's not an easy field. There's 40-something trucks entered. It's one of the most talent-filled fields in all of desert racing. I mean, what's the game plan for this weekend?
I mean, we're obviously, we obviously believe we can run up front. We have before in the 6,100 class. It's been a while since I've been in the spec truck, and my last outing in the desert was a little bit bumpy. But I'm going to have to just shake it off, like you said, on Thursday, and you don't want to start 30th. We certainly our truck is developed for the race. No question. Whether we'll have the fastest truck over 5 miles, I'm not sure, but I think we'll have a real fast truck over 425 miles. So I think the plan is just to try to keep it clean in qualifying and get in front of enough people to put yourself in that position where on middle of lap 2 on Saturday you can start pushing. Yeah. Beyond that, I have Nick Eisenhower back as my co-rider. Nice. I haven't scared him off crashing yet, so he's gonna come back, and he's like ultra helpful. And I think the truck is prepped. I think we have as good a prep as anybody, or better. Yeah. And I'm excited about it. But you know how it's a long day. I mean, the Parker 425 is a long day. So part of it is just making the right decisions for 8 hours, which will be on me, and hopefully I can get through it.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, the first lap, it's like people see it and they think, oh, Parker's so fast, but it gets so rough and the course just goes away so quick. And it's like if you can live through everything and just run clean for a lap or even a lap and a half, like you're going to be sitting there right around the top 10, guaranteed. No, even if
absolutely
you're
right.
running 80%, and then have some truck left, and then you can, drop the hammer. But there's a lot of guys that'll never make it through lap one because it's just one of those races,
Well, you bring up a good point, man. It's what's hard to see if you haven't been out there, especially in the unlimited race. Those trucks, the speed, the power, the tire size, it absolutely decimates the course like really fast, and it turns into a I would call it a harsh environment for the human body and for trucks as well. So you're absolutely right. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to end your day early by making the wrong choice, and it doesn't take much.
No, not at all. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call in, man. We got to go to a commercial break, but we'll see you here in a couple days in Parker. Best of luck to you guys, and fun catching up, buddy.
Thanks for having me. See you in a few days.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex. All right, that was Alex Figge, driver for Camberg Racing, and we're going to take a short break. We'll be back after this on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. You want extreme performance, reliability, and the most fun you can have on four wheels? The Polaris Razor brings it to you. But you don't need to take my word for it. You can take theirs.
I'm Tanner Faust, and I choose the Polaris Razor because it's the most fun you can have with a steering wheel.
What's up? I'm Ronnie Renner, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the sickest, most reliable side-by-side on the planet.
What's up, everybody? Heavy D from Diesel Brothers. Listen, I'm on Team Razor because it's hands down the best piece of machinery on the planet.
I'm RJ Anderson, and I choose Polaris Razor because it's the most fun, most capable machine.
Action sports stars, TV personalities, and some of the best race car drivers in the world all choose Polaris Razor because it's the ultimate combination of power, suspension, agility, and fun. Find out more information on the web at PolarisRazor.com or follow at Polaris Razor on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and use the hashtag RazorLife to share your story. For 100 years, General Tire has provided tires for your lifestyle, your adventure, your anywhere. Born from competition, the Grabber tire offers the durability and off-road traction you demand in a tire. We put these tires to the test in the harshest off-road racing conditions to give you a tire that will make your anywhere possible. So let us take you on your next big adventure. Tweet us photos at General Tire, hashtag anywhere is possible. Because with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Life is all about sound, the sound of sports, the sound at the racetrack, and the sound of your vehicle. Don't drive around listening to this. Drive around listening to the sound of performance. Gibson Performance. Gibson Performance Exhaust is the company who can turn this into this. Remember that life is all about sound, and Gibson Exhaust is the sound of performance. Check out your next catback exhaust system, headers, muffler, or UTV exhaust at GibsonPerformance.com and get more power and more sound.
The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, a 268 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, rockets the WRX around corners and down straightaways. A race-ready 305 horsepower turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine keeps the WRX STI a rally legend. The Subaru WRX and WRX STI, it's not a sibling rivalry, it's a tag team. Get the latest from Subaru Rally Team USA at Subaru.com/rally.
Looking to have some fun on four wheels? Dirtfish Rally School has you covered. Packing as much adrenaline and adventure as you can handle into high-performance all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive Subaru rally cars is where the fun begins at Dirtfish. Just 30 minutes outside of Seattle in Snoqualmie, you'll get a chance to train up to 3 full days with some of the country's best instructors and be put through the high-octane rush of rally on mud, dirt, and tarmac. Get started today and call 425-888-7715 or visit us online at dirtfish.com and use code 911 for a 15% discount.
Thanks for tuning in to the Down and Dirty Radio Show, available live online, in syndication on networks across the U.S., and available internationally on the American Forces Network.
All right, we are back here wrapping things up on the Down and Dirty Radio Show, powered by Polaris Razor. Big thanks goes out to Alex Figge and Brett Turcotte for the calls in today, as well as Joe Duncan. Thank you guys for listening in. Big events coming up. Obviously, Parker 425 this weekend. We got Supercross, King of the Hammers That is coming up here in the next week as well. We got UTVs, motos, and the Ultra 4s all in action out there at Hammertown, and we'll be talking a lot more about that next week here on the show. Big thank you to all of you guys for tuning in. Make sure and rate, review, subscribe to both this show as well as Project Action on iTunes. Give me a follow. It's at JimBeaver15 on social media. Amy is at AmyHood71. That coupon code for Dirtfish Rally School is JBDirtfish, and to enter that Amsoil Ultimate Indy 500 fan experience, go to amsoil.com/Indy. Big thanks to Polaris, Razor, General Tire, Subaru, KC Highlights, Gibson Exhaust, Dirtfish Rally School, Impact, Optimus, Terracross, the Blue Water Resort and Casino, as well as my good friends at Vision Wheel for their support of the show. And don't forget to go and follow them on social media. Check out those galleries of my Project Unicorn Razor build at downanddirtyshow.com. And if you guys are wanting to tune in to the Parker 425 this weekend, it's parkerliveonline.com. You can get all the updates there all weekend long, as well as our good friends at Race Desert, race-desert.com. Thank you, guys. Be safe. As always, game on.